Hello and welcome back to Grow Your Money. This is Jim 112 and today we're doing our first covered call on NFLX after being assigned this week. Assignment is not a failure, it's a transition, and today I'll show exactly how I handle that transition. That said, this video is for educational purposes only and it's not financial advice. Always do your own research and understand the risks before investing. Once we're assigned, stock selection is over. We already own the shares. From here on out, covered calls are about income, cost basis reduction, and managing outcomes we're already comfortable with. I want to be very clear about this. Assignment is not something that went wrong. It's something we planned for. Once I own the shares, I now have multiple ways to generate income, starting immediately with covered calls. Covered calls aren't about predicting price. They're about choosing which obligation I'm willing to take on shares I already own. Premium comes first, forecasting second, if at all. This rule comes straight from Jim 101. I'm not changing the plan, I'm following it. Because this is a covered call, I'm not scanning for stocks and I'm not evaluating cash secured puts. I already own the shares, so my job here is simple. Select the right contract. I start in the option chain, look around 45 days out, target roughly a 15 delta, compare premium versus upside. Okay, we're in thinkorswim. We can see NFLX has 100 shares which were assigned to us. So we go to trade, make sure we're in NFLX, and we select 45 days out, 27th of February. Scroll down to where we can see 15, and it's between 17 and 9, so we'll select this. So we're looking at the 105 strike, 27 February 26, 17 delta between these two prices. Once I've identified a covered call candidate in thinkorswim, I don't place the trade immediately. I like to cross-check it with options play, specifically the covered call report and the trade ideas page. Now I want to be clear. Options play is not required to run this strategy. It's simply a second set of eyes that help confirm probability and risk-reward alignment. If you don't have it, you can do the same thing directly in thinkorswim by comparing deltas, expirations, and covered returns across timeframes. This isn't about letting software decide for me. It's about confirmation, not delegation. There are other ways to sanity check trades in thinkorswim, but for now, I'll stick with options play. When thinkorswim and options play are pointing in the same direction, that's a confidence boost. It tells me I'm not forcing a trade. I'm selecting one that fits the plan from multiple angles. When thinkorswim and options play don't agree, that's not a red flag. It's a signal to slow down and understand why. The thing to keep in mind is timing. The options play covered call report is published hourly, and that trade ideas page can be delayed by up to about 20 minutes. So sometimes the difference isn't about risk, it's simply about when the data was captured. Other times it's about time frame, the same idea expressed over different durations. Neither selection is wrong. Early on, it's best to follow the structure of the strategy. As you gain experience, you'll start to recognize when adapting that structure makes sense, and when it doesn't. So structure first, flexibility comes later. Okay, we're in options play. We go to education and resources, to the options play hub, scroll down. Right next to the cash secured puts, you have the covered call report, access now. And then this, just put in NFLX since we already know. So they're recommending the same expiration, 46 days out, and a strike price of 105, which we came up with on thinkorswim. Now for the trade ideas, we go back to the main page, put in NFLX, and again remember you're in income because this is an income strategy, and we own the shares. This view makes it easier to see what's going on. You can see the one we found on thinkorswim and the covered call report is here. On the left, shorter expirations carry more short-term risk and respond faster to price movement. That's often where trade ideas show up. In the middle, you get a more balanced risk profile, which tends to line up better with the wheel strategy. So when these suggestions differ, it's not a disagreement. It's the same stock being viewed through different time horizons. The choice really comes down to how you want the trade to behave. After reviewing both tools, I'm selecting the 105 expiring on February 27th for roughly $111. Select that to the right. Confirm it's 111. Confirm and send. Review. So one Netflix, 27 February, 105 call for 111. And send that. Great, so that executed. We go to monitor. And now we can see the Netflix here. -1, covered call, 105 expiring February 27th, and we were paid $1.11. The strike reflects a price I'm comfortable selling at. The expiration matches the plan, and the premium compensates me for taking on that obligation. This trade already has a management plan before it's even placed. If the option reaches roughly 80% of max profit early, I'll buy it back and redeploy. Otherwise, I'm comfortable holding it to expiration. There's no emotional exit here. The outcome is already defined. So we're back in the tracker. And this placeholder, change it to Netflix. So update the price. And we bought it when it was $89.78. Control C, Control Shift V. And expiration is 2/27. And we bought it January 11th. And the strike price is 105. And we have to do a little bit of math here. But after placing this price, which was 111, look at this where it was assigned, and we bought it at 92. So we're getting paid another $1. So this bought at is going to be 91. So this is our cost basis, which is probably a better label for this column right here. So when all things are said and done, we bought it for $91 with all the premiums that we received. And then we have to copy down this same GL number, because eventually we're going to have a way to track how much we made on this trade. So the tracker computes the exit price, which is 22 cents or $22. We take that back to Thinkorswim and place our working order, closing it, the Netflix, and at 22 cents. And then change day to good till cancel, because we know it's not going to close out today. Confirm and send. 27 February at 22 cents. Go to close, send it. And it will show up as a working order here to close out Netflix when it reaches 22 cents and we're not online. There are 3 possible outcomes for this trade, and all of them are acceptable. The option can expire worthless, in which case I keep the shares and the premium. I can buy it back early for a profit and redeploy the capital, or shares can be called away at a price I already agreed to. None of these are surprises. They're all planned outcomes. Success isn't guessing direction. Success is collecting premium, lowering cost basis, and never being surprised by the result. This covered call comes directly from the GYM 101 plan. Nothing new, nothing improvised. Assignment gave us inventory. Covered calls put that inventory to work. And as always, trade the plan, not the panic. See you in the gym.